Hey guys, Xoranath here. Today I'm going to show you a team you guys can use for Underground Vegas Heroic Mode. I have up on the screen here for further exploration. You guys can see the fastest ones. We're, fourth right now? Minute 18 has been our fastest. Unique thing about the team that I'm using here is it actually uses the Dark Witch, which is a neat unit because of the... it just does a lot of things that we want here. It does good damage with the dots. It's our AoE defense breaker in here. So it's just a unit that works well in this particular comp. I'll show you guys here my gears, talk about the empowers this works for, and then we'll hop into a match. And I'll just run through them kind of in order here. So first one, we have Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil is he's our wave clearer, so he's here for waves, 1 and 3 mostly. Key things for him, you want him to have 100% crit rate. Now, what I do want to say is you have a choice here between your leader skills. So build your team with, your gears, so you can run the 33 crit lead for Dr. Evil, or you could run the the 18 crit lead on the Wicked Witch, which is for the full team. So run whichever crit leader makes sense for your build, but get to 100 crit rate on your Dr. Evil. However you do that, give him good crit damage, aim for over 200 crit damage, give him good attack. I did have a little bit less attack on him, and every once in a while he wasn't clearing waves. So, with this, I haven't seen him fail to clear a wave, so you guys can see what kind of damage, you need for that. But for him, we're running attack, and crit damage. I'll click through the other gears here, and we just have a mix of crit damage and attack power gears for him. His intelligence, I was using this for something else too. I have the S2 turned off. You probably don't need to, but he doesn't really need to do the S2 in this dungeon, but I don't know. You guys can play with that. Next unit we have is the Light Robo here. Light Robo's here because the boss, whenever you are in a petrified state, you want to kind of boost up the attack bar of everybody and get out of the petrified state, and it also puts the defense up buff on everybody with this via its passive, and then the other thing that it can do is get you a defense break on the enemy. So, and it's also a cooldown reduction, so good unit to have in here. In terms of stats, really I aimed for accuracy on this one because I wanted that whenever it hits with the S1 here to put that defense break. It's helpful. We'll go into a match here, but it's helpful on the the mid boss wave, getting that defense break onto the mid boss there, and that way you guys can clear it pretty quick. But its stats don't really matter all that much, except for you want it to be survivable, so give it some HP and that stuff, and then like I said, I just aim for some accuracy. In terms of gears, I have a mix of Inspire, and I do have a shield set on him. Totally optional. I think it gives a little bit of assurance in the boss wave that something isn't going to die right away, just having that little extra buffer for damage. So I do have a shield set. If you don't want to run that, you can do Inspire or Luck. But I'm running Luck, Accuracy, and HP. And now I'll just click through these other gears. And the other thing you can do with this unit is this can be kind of a luck mule. So you can stack as much, luck on it as you can. Since, as I mentioned, it doesn't really, it's not really stat hungry for this dungeon. So you guys can stack as much luck on it as you want. Next unit we have is the Bouncing Joker. Key reason we have Bouncing Joker here is the, actually the crit dampen buff that's going to put on everybody. So that's very important for survivability on the boss wave. Boss, has some crit mechanics, and then if you have crit dampen, you're going to reduce the chance of that happening by 50%, and it's a 3-turn one, and it also heals your team. So this is a good unit to help keep your team alive. It can do some decent damage because when you're attacking a target with debuffs or a target without buffs, it'll always be a critical hit. So You don't need to give him crit rate or anything, but you can, if you want, give him more crit damage. You know, that's an option you guys can do. He does do decent damage. But also, his S2 here is attack based, so you heal more if you have more attack. So right now I'm running luck, attack on him, and I'll click through the other gears. But basically, I'm using him for a luck mule, so I have 62% luck on him, and then you know, the other stat, I just focused on the attack for the healing. But like I said, if you want him to do more damage, you can throw some more crit rate on him. That's totally fine. Yeah, and you know, the gears themselves, don't worry about it. If you can get some inspire or discover sets on him, great. If you want to give just attack bonus, that's great too. You know, anything like that should work for him. Next unit we have is our Popo. Popo's here for a fast kill on the mid boss, and then just good damage onto the boss. And if you watch my videos, we use these Popos a lot, so it's a very similar build. I might have used this particular one in one of my other videos, but basically, get that 100 crit rate, get over 200 crit damage, and then, you know, whatever attack you can spare. I'm running luck, attack, and crit damage on this one right now. Click through these other ones. Yeah, and it's just a broken set. You guys can, you know, make this more efficient with whatever gears you have, but this is, you know, the kind of the stats you want to try to aim for here. And the last unit, which is the most unique unit, is our Dark Witch. Dark Witch is here for our AoE defense breaker. So this is the defense breaker for our waves 1 and 3 that allows the tree, or the we're using the red Dr. Evil in this one. Red Dr. Evil to clear the waves. Also has an S1 that's going to put some dots. And then the passive here makes the dots do more damage. So when you're stacking those dots up, you know, you don't need that many dots for it to clear one of those, you know, health bar segments that this boss has. So you don't really need a whole lot of dot units on your team for this unit to actually be effective here. It is a little stat hungry. Keith, and you actually don't. You don't need the 100 crit rate on this because we're not trying to strip everything. So, you know, you guys can avoid that if you want. Really, the thing you need is the accuracy. So, make sure you're... And I'm at 87 accuracy here, and I haven't seen it miss the defense breaks or anything. But, you know, just give her some good accuracy here. This seems to be about right. You can give her some more if you want. Maybe it'll land the dots a bit more. But there's only the 70% activation chance there. So... you know, the dots might be a little bit more inconsistent, but yeah, really just make sure she has accuracy. Yeah, and you know, whatever HP you can spare, try to spare some HP. You can also throw some luck on her. She's another unit you can do that too, because most of her damage isn't coming from her attack or damage or crit rate or anything like that. It's just coming from the dot damage. So she just really needs to be there and have good accuracy. Yeah, but like I said, luck, accuracy, and I have crit rate on here. You don't need to crit rate on here. You could throw HP on there. You know, whatever you guys want to run on there. Click through these other ones. And I do have a couple Inspire sets in there just for extra damage, and some Discover sets there for some extra luck. Yeah, and, you know, in terms of tuning here, we basically have the Robo moving first. We have the Dark Witch moving second. Then we have the Dr. Evil, and then we have the Joker, and then we have the light Popo here. And for gear empowers, I did test this with all of the different gear empowers. I was able to clear the boss with this team for every single gear empower. That said, I think 2 of them are a bit riskier. So the shock gear, where it has the the one-hit KO mechanic from the boss, I think that's riskier. I think it can cause your run to be a little bit more inconsistent and can cause it to fail. But I did a test run and I was able to clear it, so you can give it a go for shock. And the other one was reflect. So I found with Reflect, the Popo Rider might end up killing itself. So, again, I was able to clear this boss on Reflect, but I think it is a bit riskier. The other ones, they were all fine. I didn't see any issues there. So, you know, you guys can bring this team into pretty much any of the gear and powers. I don't know about the combination. So if you start doing 2 of them, I didn't do testing on that. So, you know, you'll have to do some testing there. But yeah, there you guys go. All right, guys, we're gonna hop into a replay for this team. Basically, you're putting the AoE defense breakdown. Dr. Evil's clearing it here. This is where we want accuracy on the Robo. That way we get that defense break, and then our Popo can come in and clear it. Then we repeat on wave 3 here, so AoE defense break. Then the Dr. Evil clears there. Getting our defense break to start out, throwing a couple dots out. Now, the boss waves are a little more unpredictable. There's, you know, because of these segments, you're kind of into trenches here with how this actually shakes out. It's a little less predictable than what the, you know, the trash waves are. But you can see here we are basically keeping our units alive with the Light Robo and the Light Joker. And the Light Robo is going to boost them up out of the petrification, and then they will eventually be back. And we have, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 units that are really capable of damage here. So as long as you know you have one of those units kind of still unpetrified, you can keep moving the boss down. And the dots, you know, they help clear it out pretty quick here too. So just a nice combination of units. You know, this team can fail every once in a while. Something weird happens in here, but you guys can see this is what it looks like when it goes well. Yeah, and there you guys go. That was the fast run. Yeah, all right, guys. So that was my team for the Underground Vegas Heroic mode. I hope this is helpful. Hope you have some of these units and are able to, you know, give this team a try. And you know, it's nice to see a new unit kind of making its way into a dungeon team. I don't see a lot of people using, you know, Dark Witch. So, you know, again, just finding another use for one of these really cool units. So yeah, with that, guys, you know, thank you guys so much for watching. Give me a like if you found this helpful. You know, subscribe if you guys haven't, and we'll see you guys in the next one.